now we are on the test student's view of Google Classroom. So we have our test student, and this is what their stream looks like. So with those assignments, they can now see what is upcoming in terms of their due dates. And they can also see the stream. So they can see that I posted assignment 1, assignment 2, and quiz test. They can see anything that was posted before. They can see your full name with how we have this. They can also see who their classmates are and who their teachers are. And the most important thing is once they click on the classwork tab, the first time they're here, they get to filter what they're going to do. So as we saw in my archived class, there's quite a bit more. So when they filter stuff, it's going to be a bit more important. You can add class comments to assignments if you have that option turned on. And you can also just go to all topics and see what is there. Now, I'm going to be making a student video. Hopefully, it's getting harder and harder to actually record video and upload it. It's taking like 2 hours or 4 hours, I think, to upload the last video that was 10 minutes. But I'm still going to try and give them some tips, because the main thing that I've been telling students in class about how to see what they have and haven't done is to click on View Your Work. If it just says assigned, it means that they haven't done it yet. If they have done it and turned it in, but it still has just assigned, it means that the teacher hasn't marked it and returned assignments yet. So on our other window, we can see that I have marked it, but it is in green. That just means I haven't returned anything to that student yet. So if I go and click return, the assignment isn't done yet. Are you sure you want to return it? That is for when a student hasn't turned something in directly to you on Google Classroom, but you can return that and give them a mark. You can give them a comment if you think that they haven't finished it. Then you can go return. This is a comment I make quite often. Where's the rest? And then you can also just click return. Now, you don't have to do that one by one for every student. This is more in the chance that a student has handed into you a bunch of things. I use the Google Classroom gradebook, whether it is handed into me physically or digitally. When it says not turned in, a lot of students panic about that. Just make it clear to them that just means they didn't turn it in on Google Classroom. There's less chance of that now in our current situation, but when I would assign things and take them in physically, I would just put the mark that I had on the assignment into Google Classroom and it would say not turned in. It was turned in, it was just turned into me in real life. But of course, we're in a different situation right now. But what it does look like, let me just delete all of this because I want to show you what it looks like when a student has turned something in on Google Classroom and you are marking it. So right now it's just saving. It's gone back to draft. They are still going to see, so if you change a mark and you want to change it, you need to make sure that you hit return again, because right now they are still seeing that mark I put in earlier. But if I wanted to clear it, I can tell them why. But I can just hit return or change the mark. So let's say you got your math wrong and a student actually got 8 when it says they have 7. You can just adjust it in there. But clicking return is what makes that mark live and visible to the student. So going back to our test student who I've logged in as, I'm going to click on assignment 1 and I'm going to view details. Now, I haven't actually put anything on there. Oh, as we can see, it just shows up as 9 out of 10 right now. I'm going to refresh. And now I can just see that it is worth 10 points and that it's just been assigned. So when you get an assignment, a student will come in here, they'll read your instructions, they can add a private comment if they want to ask a question. But when they want to turn something in, they're going to do it this way. They are going to add or create. If they have created it on Google, my suggestion is always for them to start off with creating a new doc and just creating it from there. It's way, way easier. The only thing they need to remember to do is to actually hit submit. So Google has created a new document with that student's name, and we're just going to click on it. And that student's name, and then the assignment name. It's already done. You're not going to have a million things that say untitled, which is so bad. And they can create the assignment right here. They can switch between tabs. So let's say you have the questions over here. They can copy and paste it, put it in here, go answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, or write their paragraph. I'm just going to smash on my keyboard. And then finish it off in this document. Now, you can view this when it's in draft format, but I would suggest not marking it ever if they haven't actually turned it in, and ask them to turn it in if they are done. Just because you have a chance where a student hasn't finished everything yet and you mark it and they're like, I'm not done, here's my answers. That is a thing that can happen. So I'm just going to click turn in, and this is what the student is going to do when it's done. Sometimes this turn in button doesn't show up, and what I'm going to tell the students is go to the assignment and click turn in from there, because this one will always be here. Sometimes, and I don't know why, this turn in button doesn't show up. All I can say is if it's not there, check over on the assignment. So clicking turn in, turn in your work, clicking turn in, and there we go. If a student wants to unsubmit something before the due date, they may do that. If it's after the due date, you would have to return it to them and let them fix anything, and usually that's with a reason. So we have a turned in document. I'm going to go back over to teacher view. I'm going to hit refresh. And then there are a few ways that you can do this. So we see that this is green again. Notice that the other ones that I returned, they don't have anything on them anymore. This just shows you that something has been turned in. There's a few ways to see what has been submitted for each assignment. You can go to classwork, and remember we're on teacher view right now. You can click on that assignment. You can see that something has been turned in and by how many people. And you can click view assignment. And it shows me the attachments that could be added. I can see even from this view that there has been something attached to our student right here. And it also shows up under this part. So if you click on that, you see it submitted. You wait for it to load, of course. You look at the assignment itself. And you can go, oh yeah, they did exactly what I asked them to once it loads. I'm going to hit give them 10 out of 10. And it's being a bit slow right now. That's okay. I think it's because I am uploading the YouTube video at the same time. That also might be why the YouTube video is taking a long time to finalize. So I give them 10 out of 10. You can either click return now. It'll say not returned and just like have that back to them right away. But if you want to mark the entire class before you show them what their grades are, just go up here next to this part and click next. Now, if that student hasn't handed something in, it'll just say assigned, no files submitted or whatever. You can go give them a 0. Sorry, Heather. Tom also, give them a 0. And then you can return multiple submissions or return this submission only. So I've marked 3 students' work. I've decided I want the class to see, and I'm just going to hit return once for just one person or return multiple submissions, and then it shows me who I've marked, and I can click return. And sorry, Tom and Heather, you're probably going to get an alert that you did poorly on this assignment. And there, it's all for people. There's another way to return all. So you can select from here, and then if I had any more students who had added anything, you could then click return on the student work of the assignment itself. If you have it so it's a group assignment and only one of the students is handing in the work, you will have to go into the assigned box and just give them the same mark as the group member if you're doing it that way. You can also look at the instructions here and edit the assignment if you don't like the instructions you gave or you want to give some other details. And now going back to grades, you can also, if you're doing multiple assignments and marking them up, you can click here and click on return all. Return all and return all. So what that will do, gonna give them a 0 on that. No, actually a 1. They answered one question. They put their name down. And let's say on the quiz test, they got 72 out of 100. And then let's say Heather was there for it. Tom was asleep. But then this way, you know, just testing it out. Actually, we'll say that Heather wasn't there for assignment 2. If you click on return all, the assignments aren't done yet. That's just because we have it this way, and it just gives you a summary. Click return. It will not return it to people who haven't done it yet. So Heather won't get that notification, but let's say Heather does assignment 2 a few days later. If I then Heather does it a few days later, I can also click return all and note that it's only going to Heather and not the people who it was already returned to, so you're not going to spam them with extra information. Okay, it does give notifications to the students, so sorry, Tom and Heather, you're going to have a lot of info. And there, with this amount in our grade book, we can get an overall grade. So you can see the average for that assignment, depending on what it is out of, and you can also get the overall grade for this class, which it's not doing really good right now. You can sort it by first name, you can sort it by last name, whatever you want, but you can get a quick glance, and once this gets pretty full, you'll see the full capabilities. So I'm gonna stop that there because this video is getting very, very long, but I want people to experiment with creating questions, creating materials, creating topics. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me and we can talk about it. But I think that is the majority of what you can do with Google Classroom. I will make another video if I can think of it. But this is going to take a long time to upload and edit and everything else. So thank you very much.